Okay, I'm gonna continue where let me just let him. Okay, where I left off. Um, so we were here. We were creating our public static void main, and then same thing as last time. String open close square bracket and then args. And you want to do open curly bracket at the end. And then you want to do string. This is the string we're going to be creating. So we're going to do string file name is equal to example t.txt. This is what we're just going to be calling our, dummy string, our example string. So let me see if I can expand this a little bit for you. Okay. All right. So basically, the code begins by defining a string variable. So we called it file name, and with the value example.txt, right? This is what we're going to be using in our string. And this variable will hold the name of the file to be created at the end. Next, we're going to be writing to the file. So right now, we just created and defined our string variable. Now we have to write to this file that we created. In order to do this, we're going to just press enter, and we're going to do try. Remember the try block that we used earlier. And we're going to do buffered writer is equal to new. Let me just copy this again. Equal to a new buffered writer. And then in parentheses, we're going to do new file writer. Okay. And then we're going to do inside that parenthesis, we're going to do file name. So what we did up here, we're just basically putting into this right here. Okay. So we're gonna have three. You should have three close parentheses at the end of this, and then what you're gonna want to do is open another curly bracket. Inside this, you're gonna say writer dot write. Hello. This is just example text to show you that the program is going to be working. So I'll say, hello, this is an example of file and I/O in Java. Okay, that's just going to be our example text. Make sure you put a semicolon at the end. And then we're going to do system dot out dot print data written to these five. Okay. Now we're going to go to this bracket over here, this close curly bracket. We're going to do space, and we're going to have the catch block. Just like Devonshty is in exception handling, we're going to use a catch block over here. And we're actually incorporating exception handling into this. So we're going to be doing open parentheses here. We're doing IO exception E. Okay, just like we did in the previous example. Open curly bracket. We do system dot out dot println, and we're gonna do error. So we're gonna do error writing to the file, but we don't want to end it there. We're gonna put a space at the end, and then we're gonna add on our e dot get message, then open close parentheses. Okay, so essentially what we did here is that we wrote to the file. So inside the try block over here, we created a buffered writer object. Now this is an object of the class, and it's wrapped around file writer. Okay, so file writer is this, and buffered object is wrapping around file writer, and which basically this is just used for efficiency. Okay, so this allows for efficiency when writing the file. It writes the string hello, right? It writes this string over here. Hello, this is an example of file in IO in Java over here. It connects to the file, and if this runs successfully, then it prints data written to the file. If an exception occurs, remember we learned about exception handling. If an exception occurs, it catches the exception and prints the error message when indicating the issue. So this is just going to print whatever error, but it's going to avoid the program from crashing completely. This allows us to know what errors might be going on, but while at the same time allowing our program, the rest of our program to still work. Now Devonch is going to cover it from here. He's going to do I did the writing the file part. Now we're going to explain how reading the file works.
Okay. Let me share my screen. Oh, you have to enable it. Okay.
All right.
Okay. We left off over here. So, yeah. Okay. So now what we Arnav took you through where you write the message, and now we want to receive the message. So we need something that can read this message. So we're gonna have another try block. So try, and it's basically the same thing. You can like copy and paste this. Actually don't, because we have to change a lot of the wording. So it might just be easier typing it all out. So in this, we're doing the same thing, basically same concept, but everything is gonna be reading it. So buffered reader, and same thing, reader equals new buffered reader, the new file reader, like that, and we want the file name. So this is knowing that the file name, whatever it is going to be reading that. Okay, and we need curly brackets like that. Okay, so this is our new try block, and inside of this, it's creating the buffered reader object, which is wrapped around a file reader, and it's allowing for efficient reading. So it's much more efficient, much faster. Okay, so next up we have 1 second. That's okay. String line, and here we're gonna incorporate a while loop. So in the while loop, what we wanted to do is keep reading all of the lines until there's no lines left. So in the while loop, how we do that, line equals reader dot read line with parentheses after read line. Also in read line, the L has to be capital. Just like that. And as I said, it's going to read all the lines until there's no lines left. How does the program know that there's no lines left and you can stop the program? So we're going to use something called null. So to do this, we need an exclamation point, an equal sign, and then no. It should turn red. This is so that once there's no lines left, it'll stop. And we need another curly brackets after this. And once it does, we want it to print out. We want it to, in the while loop, we want it every line it reads, and we want it to print out what it's done basically. So system dot print dot out dot print line read from file, and we want it to add the line. Okay, so just finish that up. I'll explain what we've just did. So we created a while loop that's going to read all the lines in the message before, and we have the no command, which is going to basically stop it until there's no more lines left. And for each line that it reads, for each line that the program is reading, we want it to print out read from file plus whatever the line's content is. Okay, we just have a little bit more. We have to add in what the exception might be for this. So right over here, we're going to put a catch, just like we've learned from before. If there's an exception, we want it to bypass it. IO exception and E. And in the curly brackets defining what the exception is, we want it to print out system.out.println that there is an error reading from the file. Now we have to, even though there's an error, it still has to pass the program. It still has to make the program work. So we still want it to get the message. E.get message, parentheses, and then semicolon at the end. Okay, so that's the end of this code. So what we just did is, if there's a file IO exception, then exception during the reading, then we want it to catch the exception, and it prints out the error message that there's an issue. Okay, so I'm gonna run it. Okay, there seems to be an error. Let's see. E.get message.
On over there, you forgot to put the T on print line. On the last.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Let's see if it works. Yeah. Okay. It does work. So data written to the file, read from file. 1 second. Okay, there we go. I don't know why. It might have glitched or something, but yeah, so it should be on 2 different lines. So data written to the file and the read from file, whatever it is. Hello, this is an example from file. So the message that we wrote from here, it has been intercepted, it's been put in, it's been read, and now we have, it's been printed out to the console. Hello, this is an example of file IO in Java. Okay. So that is the end of file IO, and we've concluded all of the other parts that we all went through. So if you have any questions about anything, even if it's from before, from here, you can ask right now. And if there's not, then I'll give it to Arnav to conclude. So if you have any questions, then speak up or put it in the chat. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I guess nobody has questions. I'll go ahead and make the closing statement. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's class. Just a reminder of who we are. Remember, we're WorthyWorks. We run a nonprofit in NJ. A lot of our activities are related to STEM and other educational courses. We also volunteer in multiple areas throughout NJ, at beaches, hospitals, things like that. And our mission is to just empower children and help the community by sharing our knowledge and helping people in need. We hope you enjoyed today. If you have any questions or comments, you can tell us right now. You can email us.
The video recordings for this and all the slides and resources we used will be posted on Classroom. So if you need to go back to this video recording, then you can take a look at that too. We'll post that.
Yeah, so if you missed anything, you can go ahead and look at those. It'll also be posted on our YouTube channel. I'll post a link to that if you want to look at that. But other than that, we don't have anything else. So we hope you enjoyed today. Thank you for joining, and you're free to go now.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Wait,
Stop the recording.